So I think about this all of the time because it is very comical when you really stop and think about it. But most of you, collective, who are going through the same thing that I'm going through, how we are being gang stalked, ostracized, lied about, lied to, stolen from, poisoned, all of these attacks against us that are happening, they are happening because of criminals who have been committing crimes against us, most of us, from the time that we were born. And it's been very easy for these people to get away with this because it started whenever we were innocent children, Most of us didn't have a clue what we were born into or what was going on. We didn't have a clue. We were trusting of the people who were raising us. In our little children brains, we didn't have any reason to question anything or not trust them. And what I find to be so funny about this is if these criminals could have just kept their shit tucked in, like if they could have kept their crazy tucked in, if they could have not been so paranoid and so worried about their crimes being uncovered, then most of us would never have been any the wiser. We would have kept going on. We would have kept sharing our time and our energy with these nasty, thieving people because we wouldn't have known. But their paranoia and their guilt, it did get the better of them, which is why they then started with the hidden cameras and the stalking and the spying and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So isn't it just hilarious how ultimately they told on themselves? Like if they would have just left us alone, the majority of us would never have had a clue. I know I personally wouldn't have. I didn't start to suspect that something was up until everyone that I'd ever known or cared about suddenly turned their backs on me. I just think it's so funny how evil has to present itself in one way or another. And I mean, that's like a universal law. Most of them don't even realize that they are doing it when they're doing it. That was a confirmation. Thank you, Gang Stalker. This shit is crazy funny. I mean, it's crazy funny. Much love.